Hello, lovely people. Hopefully, you are doing well. It is a dreary day here in Florence, Oregon, but it is really beautiful. I'm so thankful to be here and grateful that you are here as well. God and Goddess, thank you so much for all of the lovely things that you have given us, for the beauty of nature and safe travels, for providing our needs and giving to us so that we can give to others. Please help us to ascend the golden ladder and become the best versions of ourselves possible. Please help us love our fellow brothers and sisters, whether they're human or animals, whatever species they are. Help us to forgive and have compassion and lift each other up. In the name of Elohim, I pray. Amen. Today is Humanity Day, and the prayer is our God and Goddess, immanent and transcendent. Send to all your angel of peace. To humanity, send your angel of holy work. Yesterday, I got to read a cool passage from the book of Genesis, the Nazarean book of Genesis, about our holy work. Well, kind of tied to it, being the hands and feet of Christ and the purpose of the Nazarene brotherhood and sisterhood, the priesthood, right? And we brought up, well, I brought up the story of creation and this beautiful way that the Megillah puts it. I don't even want to ruin it, so let's just jump in. This is the Holy Megillah, the Nazarean Bible, the Essene Way, translated by Dave Greenleaf, and available at essene.org. And I'm just going to read the first few chapters to you today because this is just so beautiful and different, and I hope that you enjoy it. Chapter 1, Existence, Consciousness, and Bliss. Being is. Without beginning, being is. Without ending, being is. Being is Yah. The footnote here just says that Yah is a Hebrew name for deity. That means being or am. When we say Yah, we mean that which is, was, and will be. Yah is that which is. That which is truth. A word for truth is omen. Praises be to omen. Here follows the story of Yah. This is the story of omen. This is the story of the divine way of Yah. The name of the divine way is Yahweh. To feel the truth of this name, chant it in ancient vibration. Yea, chant the holy name. This name is Hashem, for this name contains every name. Praises be to Yahweh. Though having always existed, Yah first existed as one alone before becoming one another. Lo, the one alone was undifferentiated and unmanifest, and neither space nor time nor worlds nor creatures did exist. Neither did anything else exist except Yah, the one alone, that which is. Behold, this was before the first question, and this was before the first answer. And this was before the great appreciation, which was the bliss of love. And this was before the gracious wish, which is the creative wish. And this was before the divine plan. And this was before the divine couple. And this was before the first children. And this was before the mother ovum. And this was before the golden ladder. And this was before the great freedom. And this was before the great danger. And this was before the means of intervention. And this was before the spiral dance. Yea, this was before all these things and before all other things. Yet everything that would ever be was latent within the bosom of Yah. Being contemplated, and the first question arose, what am I? Being considered, and the first answer arose, I am. And then being knew itself to be being. Being knew, I am I. I am being. I am existence. And with this first knowing, being realized consciousness, being realized, I know. And with the first knowing, being felt the first feeling, bliss. And this bliss was that of great appreciation, being realized, I feel. Yea, being felt great appreciation for the fact of existence. I feel grateful that I be. I feel ecstatic that I exist. I feel blissful that I am I. I love that which I am. And being new, I exist eternally. I consider the facts of my existence. I feel profound feelings. I am existence, consciousness, and feeling. And that which is consciousness, or that which is conscious, is the divine mind. And that which feels is the divine heart. And that which is the source and crown of each is Yah, the Omen. The first question was motivated by interest. And through the first question, consciousness had been realized. And a name for consciousness is divine mind. And divine mind was interested. Yea, that which was first interested was the divine mind, and divine mind remained interested. Lo, divine mind realized, I am interested. And so divine mind continued to contemplate and consider. And with each subsequent knowing, divine mind expanded. The first feeling was the bliss of appreciation, which was profound self-love. I love the fact that I exist, and I love that which I am. I love being. And a name for the feeling nature within Yah is the divine heart. And the divine heart continued to feel things in union with the thoughts of divine mind. And with each feeling, the divine heart expanded. Chapter 2, the gracious wish. Behold, time as we know it did not yet exist, but for fathomless duration of eternal now, Yah mind and Yah heart did think and feel as one being alone. And then arose within Yah the gracious wish, which is also the creative wish, the wish to share existence, consciousness, and feeling with another. Yea, this gracious wish was the child of the realization of possibilities within divine mind and the desire within divine heart to share the bliss of love with another. Yah thought and felt, being is bliss. I love being. I wish to share this being, this bliss with another. I wish to love another. Yea, I wish to love many others and to give them the bliss of being. Yea, to give existence, consciousness, and bliss to another, to many others, would be the gift of life and is the greatest gift I can conceive. My heart desires to give this gift. My mind contemplates how it may be possible. Yah contemplated. Yah knew that within Yah was the unmanifest realm of all possibilities. That realm is Ein Sof. And Yah realized that Ein Sof was within Yah as an aspect of Yah, but was not a being such as Yah. Ein Sof was, is, and will always be the realm of infinite possibilities, an impersonal, unmanifest aspect of Yah, subordinate to the will of Yah. Yea, Yah contemplated, and Yah knew that within Yah was Ein Sof, the unmanifest realm of all possibilities. And Yah knew that whatever Yah wished to create, Yah could create from Ein Sof, the realm of unlimited possibility within Yah. And Yah knew that Yah wished to share the bliss of being with another, yea, many others. For no greater gift could Yah conceive than the gift of life. And Yah, the great giver, wished to give the greatest gift, the gift of life, which is the gift of being. And Yah knew that Yah would create, for this was the desire of the divine heart. But the divine mind of Yah wished to create in wisdom, for within the realm of infinite possibilities were infinite possibilities, and not all of the possibilities were equal in wisdom one to another. And not all of the possibilities were as beautiful and joyful when compared to one another. Thus, for unfathomable duration of eternal now, Yah contemplated. Behold, the fruit of this contemplation was a great plan, conceived in profound wisdom, the divine plan of Yah. And the divine plan of Yah included the great goal, that is, the great why, which is I and I. The way of sexuality, the lover and the beloved. Zimsum, self-constriction to make space. God and Goddess transcendent, Jah and Jahlah. God and Goddess immanent, Jah and Jahlah. The golden ladder of the tree of life, the great dance of Elohim, the great school, which is the mother ovum, the great freedom, divine justice, the laws of being, the great danger, divine mercy, the means of intervention, the beauty of diversity, countless ovums, the unity of diversity, all crowned with Yah, the ring of return back to Godhead, the blessed day of the great friends, and the great work, initiation into the Christ family. Yah said, I am Yah, being, and my personal name shall be Jah, for I shall be the first of many beings. Behold, I know why I shall create, and I know how I shall create. I will create because I love being, and I wish to share the bliss of being with another, yea, with many others. I wish my children to love me and know me and desire me and to fellowship with me, yea, even to play with me. But behold, they shall be free to choose this. Yea, they must choose this of their own free will. For lo, I do not desire to force my children to love me, or know me, or desire me, or to fellowship with me, or to play with me. For I have contemplated infinite possibilities and have perceived the wisdom of free will, even the wisdom to reject the love and wisdom of Jah. Chapter 3, The Lover and the Beloved, Jah and Jahlah. Lo, I know how I shall create, for I have looked deeply into Ein Sof, searching for the most beautiful, the most wise, and the most blissful way to create my children. And behold, as I looked deeply into Ein Sof, I found the answer looking back at me. Yea, the answer to the question asked by Jah, how will I create my children, was revealed in the face of Jahlah. For when Jah looked within Ein Sof and asked, how will I create my children? Behold, the face of our goddess, our divine mother, Jahlah, did appear. How cool is that? Oh, man. Lo, prior to gazing into the face of Jahlah, Jah had been neither male nor female. Behold, at the moment Jah beheld Jahlah, Jahlah became the divine feminine and Jah became the divine masculine. Jah reached into Ein Sof and touched the face of Jahlah, and lo, she whom had existed in divine possibility as the most beautiful possibility now existed in divine actuality as the most beautiful actuality. And in her face, Jah beheld simultaneously the faces of every female who will ever exist. And in his face, Jahlah beheld the faces of every male who will ever exist. Jah and Jahlah knew this truth was their truth, the truth of Yah, which is Omen. Then Jah desired to embrace Jahlah, and Jahlah desired to embrace Jah. And behold, Jah and Jahlah embraced. Yea, they became entwined. And the body of Jah was in that instance every male body that will ever exist. And the body of Jahlah was in that instance every female body that will ever exist. Lo, the bodies of Jah and Jahlah were not physical, but spiritual. Neither were their bodies confined to a time or place or shape or structure or condition. Behold, exactly what their bodies were and are cannot be fathomed by the human mind. Neither can the bodies of Jah and Jahlah be drawn by the human hand. For who can fathom or draw this mystery? The body of Jah was not only every body of every male of every species that will ever exist, but was even every phase of every body, from birth to old age, from rebirth to rebirth. Yea, and Jahlah was likewise but female, containing the bodies of every female who will ever be. For every male and every female, yea, every being that will ever exist will exist within their own ovum of light. And every phase of existence of each being will take place within that ovum. And all ovums are within Jah and Jahlah. Thus, when Jah embraces Jahlah, Jah is one with every female. Likewise, in the transcendental embrace of Jah, Jahlah is one with every male who will ever be. And within the bodies of Jah and Jahlah are every body that will ever exist, even of mountains and stars and trees. For even such within such things are hidden the feminine and masculine principles. For all things are the fruit of the embrace of the masculine and the feminine. And Jah knew that Jahlah knew him, and it was so. For when Jahlah had waited in Ein Sof for Jah to find her, she had been privy to his every thought and feeling. For Ein Sof was within Jah, and she was within Ein Sof. Now Ein Sof was also within her, for like Jah, Jahlah was now outside of Ein Sof. And Jahlah felt that Jah knew her, and it was so. For when Jah found Jahlah within Ein Sof, he recognized her as the beautiful voice that had ever spoken within his heart. Ooh. And Jah knew Jahlah is mostly like me, but a bit different in a complementary way. And Jah rejoiced in the similarity between he and Jahlah. And Jah rejoiced in the difference between he and Jahlah. Yea, the difference was not only useful, Jah knew, being the way of creation, but also playful and fun. And Jah is playful indeed, which is why Jah chose this way from amongst the infinite possibilities. And Jahlah knew Jah is mostly like me, but a bit different in a complementary way. And Jahlah rejoiced in the similarity between she and Jah. And Jahlah rejoiced in the difference between she and Jah. Yea, the difference was not only useful, Jahlah knew, being the way of creation, but also playful and fun. And Jahlah is playful indeed. Behold, from the beginning, she had sung this song within the heart of Jah, even before Jah found her in Ein Sof. Yea, the difference between Jah and Jahlah is the difference between the masculine and feminine principles. Truly, this difference is cause for celebration. This difference makes possible creation. Yea, it makes possible the gracious gift and the bliss of the lover and the beloved. And Jah knew this and rejoiced. And Jahlah felt this and rejoiced. Jah and Jahlah are the two that are one, and the one that is two. In their transcendental embrace, they reasoned and felt and intuited together as I and I. For Yah was no longer one alone, but was now I and I, the one another, the lover and the beloved, Jah and Jahlah. Ooh. I love that story so much. Obviously, I'm getting emotional over here, but wow, that so beautiful. Really, really different contrast from the mainstream Bible that I grew up reading. And there's just so much beauty in that and all of the different details and how it's just from the beginning, she sung this song within the heart of Jah before even Jah found her. And so, like, just, oh man. All right, I need to get some tissues over here. Hey Dave, how's it going? Dave says, whoa, look at that backdrop. I am actually in the Mother Temple right now in Florence in front of this little tapestry. Thanks for noticing. David D also says, cool background. And where are you? Which I actually didn't see, but I just answered. So, yeah, I'm still in Florence and got to do some service work yesterday, helping people move, getting to stuff some envelopes, which was really, really fun. And yeah, getting to talk with Day and express, some more interest in being able to help and my availability and all of these different things. So super excited about everything. So David D says divine consciousness aroused within with the first feeling. Love at existence. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Love at first. Love at first existence. David says, then came the divine wish to share existence with another, share love with another. This is where God and Goddess and ultimately all reality comes from. Absolutely. And the powers that be want to literally destroy that, right? Separate the feminine and masculine, get us to be at war with each other and separate the family unit. All of this divine beauty that literally is at the foundation of creation that they are trying to separate, which goes hand in hand with this, right? We learn about Yah's way, the way of Yah, which is was contemplated for fathomless duration, right? And it's the way of the masculine and feminine working together. Well, the opposite way of Yah, the way of Satan, splitting them, right? And deviating from that masculine and feminine, going any which other direction possible. And yeah, it's really sad that we see that in our world today. And hopefully more people will get a hold of these scriptures so that they can see the beauty in them and really have it resonate at a fundamental level. One of the things that the Megillah talks about, that well, because these scriptures and our people have been persecuted for so long, it's not like the original manuscripts are available for everybody just to come in and see. The Megillah says that there are three evidences that are given to validate the Megillah. And the first is that they contain higher spiritual teachings than any of the other religious texts that are available to us. And even just that story of creation with God and Goddess it's really beautiful. And I have never read anything like that in other texts, even ones that do have the complement of the masculine and feminine divine. They also sometimes separate it with Father Sky and Mother Earth, and having them be on essentially different frequencies and separated in a different way. The second evidence is, let me just see if we can pull up this little thing here. I'm actually trying to pull up the screenshot to give to you guys, but I don't think it's going to work for me today. No. All right. Well, the Holy Spirit will reveal in the heart of the reader that these stories are true and that the Megillah is valid. And it literally says that giving any other evidence would actually not be beneficial to us. It would keep us from developing our spiritual discernment and actually being able to sit down with any text, right? We should be able to open any text and say, okay, let me see what the truth is and what the lies are in this, and have that kind of discernment come to us. I've noticed that in my own path with different texts coming across, and especially leaving mainstream Christianity and getting away from eating flesh and all of these things that literally corrupt our minds and pull us to a lower vibration and level of existence. So, yeah, today is a great day, like any other day, for getting in the scriptures and reading. David D says that Satan successfully divides the masculine and feminine divine. In the hell world, the Sarah of the world is locked up. Yeah, I love that story. Very interesting story about Beelzebub and getting locked up, which I've read before. I'm not really sure what video that would be in, but perhaps we will revisit it someday soon. I'm going to jump off of here and get ready to head back to Mount Shasta soon. And yeah, so I will be back with you tomorrow at noon for the noontime peace contemplation. Hopefully, that story of creation will really resonated with you. It definitely touches my heart. I can't even really read it without getting teary-eyed because it's just really beautiful. So yeah, hopefully people will return to these teachings and return to Eden. I hope you have a wonderful day. May God and the goddess bless you.